So last session of our spring clean. So if you'd like to start, you can start sitting down or you can lie down. We're going to do that same sequence at the start that we did last week where we were lying down. So if you normally sit, that's fine, but you might find then you'll be coming down to the floor. So perhaps you could take a lying posture this time. It's just a chance to settle in. So closing your eyes, whatever choice you make, and taking a big breath in through the nose, and then exhaling through the mouth, releasing everything, releasing your day, releasing your week. Again, breathing in through the nose, and then exhaling through the mouth, releasing anything in the body that you're holding on to. So any areas where perhaps you feel a little bit tighter this evening, and just scanning through the body to see where those areas might be. They might be habitual tensions, or they might be something new. But just using that exhale to see if you can find a little bit more space. And arriving in your space anew, if it's somewhere where you've been today already. Setting this aside as your time to slow down, your time for you. And we're going to be focusing very much on putting everything that we've done this month together. So lots of twisting, lots of side opening, lots of focus on the breath, and really getting that energy moving as we move towards April, and hopefully a little bit more freedom and a little bit more chance to leave our homes. And so in a moment we're going to start doing some very simple movements. So just taking a last few grounding breaths here. And then if you are already lying down, you can stay where you are. If you've chosen to sit for the first part, and then if you bring yourself down to the ground. I'm going to start off with the sequence that we began with last time. The sequence, which is the Sanskrit translation, is effectively wind relieving pose. So it's a really good one. Spring can be a time when our digestion is quite sluggish, and so it's quite a good one to kind of get everything moving. So from where you are, on the inhale, you're going to lift your arms up above your head, point your toes away from you. And then on the exhale, you're going to draw the toes towards you and bring your hands back down by your sides. So to begin with, just bringing in the arms and the feet, and then we'll add on in a moment. So on the next exhale, so as you're bringing your arms back down by your side, you're going to draw your knees into your chest. And then on the inhale, you'll stretch them back out along the mat. So on the next exhale, drawing the knees into the chest as you bring your hands down by the sides. So we've got that. This is looking, I'm presuming this is looking good. Some of you I can't see. And then the next inhale, rather than taking your legs out along the ground, you're going to take your feet up in the air. And then on the exhale, bring the knees back in and the hands back down again. So you're going to be going from your legs stretched up in the air towards the ceiling, and then bringing the knees in towards you. You can see feet coming in the air, so I think that's a good sign. Okay, and then in the moment, we're going to extend on. So the next time, as you draw your knees in, you're going to take your knees slightly over towards the left, and then you're going to take your hands by the right side of your leg. So the inhale, stretching the arms and the legs up, and then on the exhale, taking the knees to the right side and the hands to the left. So kind of almost like you're doing a little mini twist crunch kind of thing. seeing if you can get the elbows as far towards your knees as possible. Lovely. And making sure that you finish with your hands to the left, and then you're going to draw the knees into the chest. You can relax yourself down and just take a little rock from side to side. And I'm going to come up to sit, so perhaps extending on this cord, just rocking back and forth a few times, and bringing yourself up to sit. Hopefully got some blood moving a little bit. I'm going to start off by doing the same kind of movement sequence. So bringing the hands down by the side, sitting in cross-legged, or if something else feels a little bit more comfortable for you, taking that. On the inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up, looking up. And then on the exhale, releasing the right hand down to the right side, taking the left hand over the head. On the inhale, coming back to the center, both hands reaching up. And on the exhale, left hand down, right hand over the head. Inhaling back to the center, over to the right side again. Inhaling back to the center, exhaling over to the left side. Inhaling back to the center, so I'm going to twist. You're going to take the right hand to the left knee and twist around to the left side. Inhale back to the center, and we're going to exhale and go the opposite way, so left hand to right knee. Inhaling back to the center, twisting to the left side. Inhaling back to the center, and then exhaling, right side twist. Inhaling back to the center, and then you're going to exhale, release the hands forward and come into a forward fold. Perhaps take a little rock from side to side here. Just releasing into the lower hips. It doesn't need to be anything too big, just a very gentle little rock. Then you're going to inhale and walk the hands back up. And you're going to switch the cross of the legs if you have got them crossed. So perhaps just picking them up into a little boat pose, just balancing on the sit bones, and then crossing the legs over the opposite way. And we're going to repeat exactly the same sequence on the opposite side. So inhale, sweeping the arms up. And this time we're going to exhale and release the left hand down to the left side and take the right hand over the head. So starting on the opposite side, inhaling back to center, exhaling over to the right. Inhaling back to the center, lovely. Exhaling over to the left, back to the center, over to the right. Big stretch down the side, back to the center. And this time on the exhale, left hand to right knee, twisting to the right to begin with. Inhaling back up, exhaling over to the left. Yoga is an excellent chance for us to connect the left and right hemispheres with all of this crossing over. And I'm going to exhale to the left side, inhaling back to the center, and then exhale, coming forward into your forward fold. Yeah, so these cross things kind of help us to connect the different parts of our brain. So they're good mental exercises as well as physical exercises. And then you're going to inhale and come forwards, rolling over the knees if that feels okay for you, or making your way as you wish onto your hands and knees. So setting up with hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. I'm going to come into a couple of rounds of cat-cow. So on the inhale, drawing the chest forwards, looking up. And then on the exhale, opening through the shoulders, tucking the head down. And just moving with your breath between your cow pose and your cat pose. So getting some movement going in the spine. Getting this energy moving with the breath, with the movement synchronized to the breath. So the last round, and then bringing spine back to neutral. So we're going to come straight up into that kind of version of side angle pose. So you're going to kick the right foot out to the side, and you're going to stretch the left leg back. Big inhale, stretching the left arm up, and then either straight to the ceiling or taking it over the head. So you can either have the arm facing up or over. And if you want a little added challenge here, perhaps see if you can then lift that left foot off the ground. So just balancing on the right hand and the right knee. Lovely. And then bringing yourself back down. Switching onto the opposite side, so kicking the left knee out, taking the right foot to the ground. Inhale to sweep up, either straight to the ceiling or taking it over the head. And then perhaps having a little play with lifting the right foot off the ground and just having a little play with the balance. So a kind of modified half moon pose. And then bringing the hand and the knee back down. And then we're going to take the feet back, take the hips back, coming into either downward dog or perhaps coming into child's pose if it's a child's pose kind of evening. And wherever you are, just having a good stretch, perhaps walking one heel and then the other, or swinging through the hips. Whatever you need to do to stretch yourself out at the start of the class. And then we're all going to either walk the hands to the feet or the feet to the hands, coming into a forward fold. So if you are in child's pose, just making your way into that gentle forward fold. And perhaps taking hold of the elbows with the hands and taking a little rock from side to side here. And then on the inhale, rolling all the way back up. And rolling through the shoulders, stretching through the legs. And if you're not already there, coming to the top of your mat. So we're going to do a couple of half salutations with a twist today, obviously, because our theme of this month has been very much around twists. So inhaling to lift the arms up. And then on the exhale, you're going to take the left hand behind you, bring the right hand to the front. You're going to twist open to the left side. Inhale to lift the arms back up. Higher down, you're back again. And then taking the twist the opposite way. So right hand back, left hand forwards. Inhale the hands back up. And then on the exhale, we'll fold forwards as normal. Keeping the right hand on the ground. On the inhale, you're going to lift the left arm up, coming into a twist to the left side. Exhaling down. Inhaling the right arm up, coming into a twist to the right side. Exhale down. And then on the inhale, lifting the arms all the way back up. And exhale down. Same sequence, so we know where we're going now. Inhale to lift the arms. Exhale, twist to the left side, left hand behind, right hand in front. Inhale, back to the front. Exhale, taking it the opposite way, right hand back, left hand forwards. Inhale, lift. Exhale, folding all the way down. Right hand on the ground, left hand sweeping up on the inhale. Exhale to release. Inhale, lifting the right arm up. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way back up. And exhale, bringing the hands back down through the center line. One more of these. So inhale, lifting the arms. Exhaling, twisting to the left, left arm behind, right hand in front. Inhale, back to the front. Exhale, opening out to the right side. Inhale, back to the front. Exhale, folding down. Right hand on the ground. Inhaling, lifting the left arm, twisting to the left. Exhale down. Inhale, lifting the right arm, twisting to the right. Exhale down. And then inhaling, lifting all the way back up. And exhale, hands to the center of the chest. Now a slightly more normal but fuller sun salutation. So inhaling, lifting the arms. Exhale, folding all the way down. No twists this time. Inhale, halfway. And then on the exhale, stepping back with the right and dropping the right knee down. And on the inhale, you're going to lift the arms up, coming into your low lunge. And on the exhale, taking the left arm behind, right arm in front, opening into a twist. Lovely. Inhale back to the front. And exhale, releasing the hands to frame the foot. Inhale, lifting the back knee. And then stepping back into your plank or your modified plank with your knees down. Inhaling here. And then on the exhale, knees, chest, chin coming down to the ground. And on the inhale, opening into a little cobra. Lovely. Exhale, coming back, going into downward dog or child's pose. And as we've been focusing on this month, really breathing up through the fingertips, so engaging those fingers, drawing the hips up and back, imagining that breath traveling all the length of the spine. And then on the inhale, stepping forwards with the right foot, dropping that left knee down. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, coming into your low lunge. And on the exhale, taking the right hand behind you, left hand in front, twist to the right. Inhale, coming back to the front. And then exhale, hands either side of the foot. Inhale to lift the left knee. And exhale, stepping to the front, folding down. Inhale, lifting all the way up. And then exhale, hands back down through the center line. Inhale, lifting the arms, looking up. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway. And then on the exhale, stepping back with the right, dropping the right knee down. Inhale, lifting the arms. And this time on the exhale, taking the right hand to the outside of the left knee and just using that pressure to ease yourself a little bit further into that twist. Inhale to release it, looking back to the front. And then exhale, hands back down to frame the foot. Inhale, lifting the right knee and stepping yourself back into your plank or your modified plank. And then exhaling, knees, chest, chin or chaturanga, coming down to the ground. Inhaling, coming through into your cobra or your upward dog. And then exhale, coming back either into child's pose or into your downward dog. Really pressing those fingertips into the ground, lengthening through the spine, using the breath to draw the hips back, create that length, create that space. Then on the inhale, stepping forwards with the right foot, dropping the left knee down. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, coming into your low lunge. And then on the exhale, taking the left hand to the outside of the right knee, opening to the right side. Inhaling back to the front. And exhaling, framing the front foot. Inhale to lift the back knee. And exhale, stepping forwards to the front to fold down. Inhale, lifting all the way back up. And then exhale, bringing the hands down through the center line. One more of these. So inhaling, lifting the arms. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway. And then on the exhale, stepping back with the right foot, dropping that right knee down. This time on the inhale, bringing the hands to the center of the chest. And then on the exhale, taking the right elbow to the outside of the left knee and coming into this little twist that we return into. Inhale, releasing, arms back up. And then exhale, releasing the hands to frame the foot. Inhale to lift the right knee. And then exhale, stepping back into your plank pose. Inhaling in your plank. And then exhaling down through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Coming down And inhaling into your cobra or coming into your upward dog. Exhaling back into your child's pose or your downward dog. Wherever you are, pressing into the fingertips, drawing the breath up through the spine. Lovely. And then on the inhale, bringing the right foot forwards, dropping the left knee down. Inhale, coming into your low lunge. Hands to the center of the chest. And then on the exhale, taking the left elbow to the outside of the right knee and coming into that little twist. Inhale, lifting the arms back up. And then exhale, framing the front foot. Inhale to lift the left knee. And exhale, folding forwards, folding in. And inhale all the way back up. And exhaling down through the center line. So just taking a moment to walk anything out, take any clothes off if you've warmed up a little bit, and just taking a moment to ground yourself. Excellent. So lots of building on sequences that we've been doing throughout the month. So there'll be some familiarity and some sort of slight difference in how they've been put together. So you're going to inhale, both arms up, and then you're going to exhale, and you're going to open out to the left side. So right hand to the front of the mat, left hand behind. All good so far. So on the inhale, you're going to lift the left foot, and you're going to step it back and come into warrior two with the right leg forwards. Lovely. So sitting into that front knee, but just checking it to make sure that it's over the ankle, it's not going to one side or the other. Going to inhale the front hand over, and you're going to exhale, taking the left hand down the back leg, reversing your warrior, breathing into that right side of the body. This is lovely, everyone. So really looking to find more space in that front leg. You're going to inhale back to your warrior two. And you're going to exhale, taking right elbow to left, right elbow to right knee even, stretching the left hand over, getting lefts and rights all mixed up today. And if you've got the space, and this is early on in the class, we'll come back to this pose. If you want to release the hand to the ground, feel free to do that. And then inhaling back to your warrior two. And then from here, we're going to transition back into the pose that we came out of. So you're going to take an inhale, lift up the left leg, and come in. I've got a little bit too close to the wall on mine now. Lift both hands back up, and then you're going to take it over to the opposite side. You're going to pick up the right foot, and you're going to come into the same pose on the other side. So warrior two with the left leg forwards, stretching both arms out. Beautiful. The beauty of doing both sides is you know where you're going with the second side. So no pressure, but this side has to be better. So you're going to inhale and turn the left hand over and take the right arm down, the right leg coming into your reverse warrior pose. Lovely. Really breathing into that left side. Seeing if you can find any more space in the stretch at the front. Inhaling back to your warrior two, and exhale, releasing the left elbow to left knee, taking the right arm either straight up to the ceiling or taking it in line with the back leg, really pressing from that back foot all the way up through the side. And if you've got the space, taking the hand down to the ground, but knowing that that's an option, not necessarily one that works for you. Inhaling back to warrior two, and then we're going to seamlessly transition back into that starting pose, lifting the arms up. Either you can come down through a vinyasa to the floor, or if you want to take that little half vinyasa sequence, so where we go to either side, inhale back up, exhale down, and then open out to both sides. before coming back up. So that is your option. If you want to just stand, that's absolutely fine too. Okay, lovely. So meeting back. So meeting back at the front of our mats. Lovely. Then we're going to inhale, lift the arms. And this time, exhale, we're going to sit back down into our chair pose. So this pose we played with a little bit last week. From here, we're going to lift the right leg and then see if we can send that right leg back, coming into Warrior Two. So Warrior Two, left leg leading. That was pretty seamless, which I'm glad I explained it. Okay. Then you're going to inhale, straighten the front knee, lift both arms up. And then on the exhale, you're going to shift the hips towards the right, and you're going to come into triangle pose. So stretching the left arm as far as you can, and then bringing that left hand down to the left leg, and either taking the right arm up to the ceiling or perhaps tucking it behind the back and just opening up through the chest. So if you feel quite collapsed in this pose and it feels a little bit awkward, then perhaps just put a bit more of a bend into the front knee and perhaps just take the arm behind the back. So forget about that top arm. You're going to inhale and come back up into your Warrior Two pose. We're going to spin it round to the front of the mat, coming into a high lunge. And then from here, we're going to transition back into our chair pose. So we're going to take an inhale, pick the right foot up, and come back up into the chair and release. And then we'll come into the opposite side. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, sitting down into the chair. I'm going to lift the left foot up this time and send that left foot back. And then you're going to open it up and make it Warrior Two. Switch onto the opposite side, so your right leg should be facing forwards. Lovely. You're going to inhale, straighten the right leg, take the arms up into the sky, shifting the hips slightly towards the left. And then you're going to stretch through the right side of the body, stretching the right arm forwards, 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 and taking it down to the leg. And either stretching the left arm up to the sky, or perhaps just tucking it behind the back. So the focus of this pose is really getting that opening through the chest. So if you feel that you're really collapsing in this pose, then perhaps just take a little bit of a bend into the front knee. And perhaps look at the distance between the legs. Could you take the legs a little bit wider apart, perhaps? Would that give you a little bit more space in this pose? And on the inhale, coming back up to your Warrior Two pose. We're going to spin it round into high lunge. And then from here, we're going to seamlessly step back into our chair pose. And from here, you're going to take one of those two options. So either you can just come in and stand, sorry, three options, stand here. You can take the half salutation sequence, or you can take a full vinyasa sequence. Whatever you would like to do. So wherever you are at this evening, if you're feeling like a little bit more of a pause, then standing here, taking a little bit more time, or taking one of those other options, and meeting everybody back at the front of our mats. Lovely. Okay, so this time you're going to inhale, come back into your chair pose, and then we're going to draw the hands down through the chest. So the hands are going to be in the center of the chest, and then you're going to pick up the right foot and you're going to send that right foot back, coming into high lunge with the hands in the center of the chest. Lovely. That's actually a really tricky transition. So well done, everybody. You're going to release the hands up to the ceiling, stretching up. And then you're going to take hold of the right wrist with the left hand and take a little stretch over to the left side. So lengthening through the right side of the body. If you want to drop the back knee to do this, you can do if it feels a little bit unsteady. And then you're going to release that. And then we're going to stretch that right hand forwards, taking the left hand behind you and taking the right elbow onto the outside of the left knee and coming into our twisted side angle pose. If it feels really unsteady, you can drop the back knee down and perhaps just ease yourself into this pose a little bit more, and then you can always lift yourself back up again. Okay, and if you want to here, if you want to just shuffle the knee down the outside of the arm, perhaps just seeing if you can take the right arm down to the floor and lifting the left arm up. So just sort of deeper stretch to that. Inhaling, releasing that forwards, bringing the hands back down to the center of the chest, and then we're going to transition back to the front. So on the inhale, picking the right foot up, coming back into the front and standing that back up. And then we'll do it again on the opposite side. So inhaling to lift, exhale, sitting down into that pose, bringing the hands to the center of the chest. I'm going to pick up the left foot this time, and we're going to send it to the back of the mat, coming into our high lunge, hands in the center of the chest. Inhaling, releasing the arms up to the ceiling, taking hold this time with the left wrist with the right hand, and then you're going to take a bend over to the right side, so stretching that left side of the body before we come into our twist. Stretch, 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 stretch. And then releasing that left hand forwards and taking left elbow to the outside of the right knee and coming into that twisted side angle pose. And remembering here, if you want to, you can drop the knee down and perhaps just take a moment to see if you can work a little bit more deeply into that twist. These are looking really good, everyone. We've come back to it quite a few times, and it's really good to see sort of a little bit more steadiness, more ease. You're probably thinking, Sarah, just stop talking so we can come out of this pose. And then you're going to inhale and release it, bringing the hands back down to the center of the chest. And we're going to pick up the left foot, and we're going to make our way back to the front of the mat. And then coming back up. So again, whichever option you want to take, standing in your Tadasana, taking the half salutation sequence, or taking a full vinyasa here. It's your practice. One of the slight beauties of online yoga, there's absolutely no pressure from whatever the person on the mat next to you is doing, because there is no mat next to you apart from on the screen, but that's less obvious. So when we get there, making our way to stand back in our Tadasana. Lovely. Okay, so another little transition sequence. So you inhale and lift the arms up, and then you're going to exhale, sitting down into your chair pose, hands to the center of your chest again. And then this time we're going to take that little twisted chair that we were playing with last week. So you're going to inhale, and then you're going to exhale and take the right elbow towards the outside of the left knee. And just looking down at both knees, making sure that they're together, the right knee hasn't crept forwards. Lovely. Okay, so from here, you're going to have a little play, and it's all about playing way over the doesn't matter. The right foot up, and you're going to send that right foot to the back of the mat. I love how you've all just gone with me on this, which is good. And then perhaps we'll have a little go with seeing if we can release that right hand down to the floor, and then left arm reaching up. Lovely. Inhaling to release back to the front, bringing the hands back down through the center line. And then you're going to Step back to the front. If you want an added challenge, you can see if you can do it from a twisted position. So either stepping back from here, or you can have a go at stepping back from your twisted position. And then we're going to take it over to the opposite side. So taking left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And then seeing if you can pick up the left foot and step it back. Lovely. Seeing if you can perhaps then release the left hand down to the ground, taking the right arm up. And then inhaling, releasing up. So either stepping back to the front from the hands at the center, or if you want to have a little go at seeing if you can come in from that twisted pose, you're going to inhale, pick up the left foot, coming back to the front of the mat. And then taking whichever version you want. So either standing here, half salutation sequence, or a full vinyasa here. As you're doing that, I'm just going to plug the computer in because it's about to die. So you might get an added little bit of break. Okay, lovely. So, final little play standing, and then we're going to go to down to the floor. So you're going to inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, sit down into a chair, bringing the hands to the center of the chest. Inhaling here, and then exhale, taking the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. And then perhaps just seeing if you can do that same idea as we did in the twisted side angle, seeing if you can take the right hand down towards the floor. It doesn't matter if it doesn't get there. So the upper arm is on the outside of the knee, and then just seeing if you can take the left arm up to the ceiling. Lovely. Inhaling back to the center, going on to the opposite side, so left elbow to right knee. And then just seeing if you can open that out. And then from here, inhaling back up. Exhaling, releasing down. Stepping back into downward dog for a moment. And then from your downward dog, you're going to come to sit down in whatever way you wish. So if you wish to pick up your feet and do a fancy little jump through to seated, or just getting there however you wish to. So we're going to have a little bit of a play with quite a fun pose. I think it's quite fun anyway, with no sort of holding on to whether we get there or not. So what I've been trying to do throughout the month is kind of play with different sequences and then kind of build up to a pose that perhaps is quite a challenge if you kind of approach it in the first week. But hopefully we've kind of looked at some of the things that put it together. So we're going to have a little play with it seated first. I'm not going to say what it is yet, because those of you who know what it is, that you may have preconceptions of that. So we're going to sit with the knees bent, feet on the ground, and you're going to bring the hands to the center of the chest again. Inhaling here, and on the exhale, you're going to take right elbow to the outside of the knee. And then just see if you can twist yourself around. And then just perhaps see if you can shuffle the outside of the right arm down the outside of the thigh. And just taking the hands down to either side. All of this will become slightly clearer. Okay, coming back to the center. And then going on to the opposite side. So taking left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And then seeing if you can shuffle the outside of the upper arm down the leg. And taking both hands out. It feels a little, there's some very odd looks at me here. Okay. So releasing. So you can you can watch this, or if you want to have a go with it. So we're going to come up into a little kind of squat. Now, if you kind of get up here and you feel I'm quite unbalanced, so the heels are going to be up from the ground, you can take a pillow or something, and you could always just tuck the pillow underneath your heels, so you're not actually it gives you a little bit more balance, so you're pressing your heels into the cushion. But maybe see how we go. And then we're going to do exactly that same idea. So hands to the center of the chest, inhaling here, and then you're going to take right elbow to the outside of the left knee, and you're going to come round in a twist. Okay, so far so good. And we'll come on to the opposite side. So inhaling to the center, exhaling over to the right side. And then release. Okay, if you want to sit down for a moment, I'm going to show you what we're going to play with next. So we're going to play with a little pose called side crow. Okay, so it's basically this same concept. So it's all about lengthening through the sides as we're here, tucking yourself in as far as you can get, and then you take your hands down. So the same as we were doing when we were sat down, you take your hands down to the sides. So you've got both your hands in a line, and then you just play with seeing if you can then just shift your weight onto your hands and pick your feet up. You might be looking at that and thinking, there's no way that I can ever do that. But do you know what? It's all playing. It might just be that you just play with just putting a little bit of weight onto your arms. That's a useful exercise, and a little bit of arm strengthening. And perhaps just see if you can pick up one foot. But the key to it is really trying to get that the top of the arm as far down the thigh as you can. And then it's all just about playing with where you put the weight. So the weight is resting on the sort of middle of the thigh. So I've taught this one in a live class before. I've never taught this one on a Zoom class. So it's interesting to see how it goes. So thank you for playing with it. So you might find that one side is slightly easier than the other. So the reason I demonstrated it on the right side first is because the right side is the one that is always my stronger side. So it may be that yours is the opposite way around. So for some reason I find my left side a little bit harder to work out the balance. And then when you've had enough playing, thank you for going along with it, just coming down to your bottom, and you can just stretch the feet out and just give them a little bit of a walk out, shake the arms out, and then we'll come into a very gentle forward fold. So knees a little bit bent, inhaling the arms up, length through the sides, and then exhaling, folding forwards, and coming into that forward fold. And perhaps just taking a little rock from side to side here, very, very sort of gentle, subtle rock. And really seeing if you can, on the inhale, draw the chest towards the toes, so really lengthening through the spine. So from here, feeling that you're inhaling up through the spine, through to the head, and then on the exhale, back down the spine. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Drawing the right knee in towards you and releasing it out to the side. And do the same with single leg, so maybe a little bit of a bend into the left knee again. Inhaling to lift the arms up, a little bit of a twist towards your straight leg, and then exhaling, folding down again. So these forward folds just resetting the spine after all the twisting. So allowing the things that we've been kind of moving around. So twists are really good for detoxifying the body. So great for this time of year when we have got a lot of kind of sluggish energy, and then inhaling to release and lift. Picking up the right foot, taking it over the leg. And you can either keep the left leg straight, or if it feels okay for you and you can balance quite comfortably on both sit bones, or quite evenly on both sit bones, you can tuck the left foot in towards the right sitting bone, wrapping the left arm around the right leg, giving it a little pull towards you. And then you're going to inhale, lift the right arm up, and exhale, release it behind you. And you can either keep your left arm where it is, or if you want to, you can take the outside of the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Or if you can, perhaps taking that left arm down, that left hand down towards the ground. That can feel a little bit awkward. So just taking whichever version feels okay for you. Inhaling to release. A little counter twist going the opposite way. And then inhaling, releasing, untangling everything, stretching both legs out, walking them out. And you're going to draw your left knee in this time, pulling it in towards you, releasing the left knee out to the side. A little bit of a bend into the right knee. Inhale, lift the arms, straighten, lengthen through the spine, and then exhaling, releasing forwards, coming into your single-legged forward fold on the opposite side. Really focusing on bringing that chest towards the toes and not becoming overly focused on reaching for the toes if you don't have that space to do so. Inhaling to walk back up the leg. And then picking the left foot up, taking it over the right leg. And whichever version of the pose you took on the opposite side, so if you kept your leg straight on the opposite side, then do the same on this side. If you tuck the leg up on the other side, then taking that version on this side. It's all about balance. So drawing the left leg towards you, wrapping that right arm around the left leg. Inhaling, left arm up, and coming into that twist to the left side. And taking whichever version of the arms that you took on the opposite side. So if you did take the elbow to the outside of the knee, then just bringing the hand up. Or perhaps if you then release the hand down to the ground. That can feel quite an odd pose to do, the hand down to the ground. It's all about rotation in the shoulder. You know, you're releasing further down. And then inhaling, releasing to the front, little counter twist going the opposite way. Releasing, untangling everything. And then we're going to roll ourselves down to the ground very, very slowly. So one vertebrae at a time. And then when you get there, drawing the knees into the chest, giving them a little hug, a little rock from side to side. And then taking the feet straight up in the air and coming into a reclining version of the seated forward fold. So just drawing the legs in towards you. Perhaps taking hold of them behind the legs. If you have got a belt, you could use a belt here, but you can achieve the same effect just by pulling the backs of the legs in. But if you do have any problems in the back, this can be a really nice version of this pose because the back's completely supported. And then releasing the feet down to the ground, taking the arms out at shoulder height, inhaling here. And then you're going to exhale, drop the knees over to the right, coming into a reclining twist. Looking to the left hand if that feels okay. Trying to release that left shoulder towards the ground if it's not there already. And find a little ring out of the spine. Inhaling, picking the knees back up, back to the center, and then exhaling, taking them over to the opposite side. Looking towards the right hand if that feels okay for the neck. And trying to release that right shoulder down towards the ground. And then inhaling back to the center. And then any final poses you want to do. So this is your yogi's choice. So whatever feels necessary. Taking the time to do that here. And then when you're ready, making your way into your Shavasana. So putting on any extra layers, extra socks, blankets, eye pillows that you need. And then when you're ready, lying yourself down. When you get there, taking a big inhale through the nose. And then exhaling through the mouth as a sigh. Releasing everything. Again, inhaling through the nose. And then exhaling, releasing everything out. Releasing the feet. Releasing the legs. Releasing the hips. Releasing the abdomen and the lower back. Releasing the chest and the shoulders. Releasing the arms. Releasing the face, the tongue, the forehead. The guest house. The body is a guest house. Every morning someone new arrives. Don't say, oh, another weight around my neck, or your guests will fly back into nothingness. Whatever enters your heart is a guest from the invisible world. Entertain it well. Every day and every moment, a thought comes like an honored guest into your heart. My soul regard each thought as a person, for every person's value is in the thought they hold. If a sorrowful thought stands in the way, it is also preparing the way for joy. It furiously sweeps your house clean in order that some new joy may arrive from the source. It scatters the withered leaves from the bough of the heart in order that fresh green leaves might grow. It uproots the old joy so that a new joy may enter from beyond. So coming back to the body with the breath. Deep inhale and releasing as an exhale. Starting to bring some small movements back into the fingers and toes. And then perhaps stretching the arms up above the head and taking a full stretch through the body. Perhaps drawing the knees into the chest, taking a little rock from side to side. Or anything else you need to do to stretch the body after your stillness. Making a little pillow for the head with one of the arms, the left side more nurturing, the right side more energetic. Rolling over onto that side. And then in your own time, bringing yourself back up to sit. Bringing the hands down by the side. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up. And bringing them down through the center line. And thank you very much for your practice tonight and this month. There isn't a class next week because I'm moving house next week. So next month's theme is all about change, which is obviously very relevant for me, but I think is kind of relevant to all of us. We've sort of been in this little lockdown bubble, whether it's been a positive or a negative thing for you, and it's sort of starting to emerge from it, which is really lovely, but it's sort of a little bit scary. When we're going to have time to do anything after all this time at home. So it's all about change. And then on Sunday, I'm doing my Sunday slowdown restorative yoga class, which is a little bit more time to enjoy the poses and a little bit more time to breathe. So if you are interested in that, then the booking is